The Toronto Raptors have their most talented team in the history of the franchise, much to the credit of Kawhi Leonard, who was brought in on a monster trade with Raptors' former franchise player, DeMar DeRozan. But he can opt out of his contract next year, so the question arises, will Kawhi stay? Let's take a look at some facts. Number one, this season the Raptors are good, really good. Second best record in the NBA, only one less victory than last season. And this has been like a transition year, the first season without DeMar DeRozan in 9 years. But Kawhi rests a lot. Out of 82 games this season, he rested 22 of them. We've all witnessed the talent that Kawhi Leonard has. I mean, it's undeniable. But if you look at these numbers, the team hasn't totally gelled with him yet. However, we will see how it plays out in the playoffs because that's the main reason he was brought here in the first place. Number two, in September of 2018, Kawhi Leonard reportedly bought, not rented, bought a home in Toronto. But wait, he actually also bought a home in January in San Diego. And I haven't seen any pictures of the home in Toronto, but I saw some pictures of the home in San Diego, and I'd want to live there. But I mean, that's me. It looks well worth the $13.3 million that he dropped on it. Probably not much to make out of this fact right here. I mean, rich people buy stuff. That's what they do. Number three, Kawhi is American. And as beautiful as Toronto is, they just believe the States is better. We can't dispute the fact that Kawhi or any other players that come to the Toronto Raptors are coming to live in a foreign country. The culture's different, the surroundings are different. Most of their friends and family are south of the border. Things as small as the TV channels are different. It's a huge sacrifice for these players to come to another country for most of the year. In my opinion, and in the opinion of many, Toronto is the most beautiful city in the world. What does Kawhi think? Number four, it's cold out here, man. Cold. We're used to it, but when you've been living in California for most of your life, that cold weather hits you a little bit different. When you're a player of Kawhi's caliber, you can have the surroundings if you're choosing. He can make the Clippers a contender. He can make the Lakers a contender. Technically, he doesn't have to sacrifice his comfort to have a good team. Because he's a top 5 player, he can have the team, he can have the money, and he can have whatever living conditions he chooses. Will the great winning situation here in Toronto be enough to keep him north of the border? Will his decision be decided from the results of this season's playoffs? Has his mind been made up already, and are his days already numbered here in Toronto? We'll find out eventually, but if he does leave, can we get DeMar back?